if I say slow down the pace, when you slow down, you are able to look around. You're able to see what really is happening. You're able to see what is it that you really want to do. So to know that you are working from home does not mean that you remain casual. Because if you dress casually, you will act casually, and then you will perform casually, and that's not going to happen. It is going to be very important that you are more tolerant, you practice more allowance, more acceptance, more forgiveness, compassion.
COVID 19 brought in unusual, difficult, and challenging times for all of us. As many of us work from our living rooms, we have forgotten to wear our favorite clothes and also a smile on our face. This initiative is to learn from various people what COVID 19 did to them. And in this video, I am looking forward to speak to Samira Gupta, an image consultant and a life coach, and to know from her about the professional dressing in the post-COVID era. Hello, ma'am.
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's so good to see you.
Likewise.
So it's been around more than 2 months that we have been practicing social distancing and we are in a lockdown situation. So how has it been for you in the last 2 months, personally and professionally? How are you holding up?
So it's been long. It's more than 2 months. It's the third month, and almost the third month is about to get over. It has gotten over actually. It's 3 months now. So how am I holding up? And what did COVID do to me? I think it slowed down the pace. Okay, that was the major thing that happened. That we were all running. We were all trying to do certain things and chasing our so-called dreams and everything. But this situation has slowed down the pace. So there was a lot of time for self-reflection, uh, personal growth, connecting with self, connecting with family. Okay, and I'll tell you how we did that. What else? I think self-care in some way. Now, with all the extra home chores, the self-care wasn't the top priority, to be honest. Okay, but there are a lot of other things that have happened. So if I say slow down the pace, when you slow down, you are able to look around. You're able to see what really is happening. You're able to see what is it that you really want to do. Okay, so I started practicing music. We started singing, whether it was on the Smule app or even sitting with my tanpura and practicing, and generally practicing some ragas that I had left long, long ago. So I'm a trained classical singer, and nobody really knows about that because.
Yeah, then I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I started doing that, and I was thoroughly enjoying it. So whether it was singing and connecting, because for me singing is connecting with soul. It's music for soul for me. So I could do that. I could do a little bit of gardening, okay, which again was something that I had outsourced. So I did that. A lot of cooking, a lot of recipes came up, new things being tried at home. And the most beautiful part was connecting with the family, which again was something that I used to miss. I could spend 1 month with my parents, which for me was a big bonus because
Is your
I would.
daughter also with you?
So yeah, both my girls were with me. My elder girl has just gone back to her home, but both my girls were with me during the entire lockdown period. Unfortunately, my husband is stuck in Pune. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He's there for an assignment and he got stuck. So he's not with us, but yeah, we have, my girls were here, so that was a big help. And so cooking, gardening, cleaning, um, and all of that on the home front, okay? And things that we were doing together, okay? The fact that I could spend time with my parents and take care of them because they did not have help. For me, it was very soul satisfying. So apart from this, on the business front, what I did was, revamping the whole structure and the way we were conducting programs. And most of the time has gone into creation. Okay, new programs being created and new methods being created and things like that. So that is something which is very good. But when you're running, you can't really focus on these things, right? Because you keep getting work and you keep just performing and executing that. But there's no time to really sit and plan what next, how do you want to do it, what do you want to do it. So all of that. The other good thing that has happened is that I have enrolled in several new programs for personal development, personal growth, be it leadership skills to enhance further how I can transform further and help my clients on that front. Also on certain other programs like, the rapid transformation therapy and things like that. So several new programs that I've joined, and I'm able to sit and learn, right? So there was creation and there was consumption, right? So I'm consuming and I'm creating. So that is a big piece for my professional, on this professional front. And so I talked about personal front, professional front, and what else? Yeah, on the soul front, I think I've been able to meditate. I've been able to listen to some, motivational stuff. I've been able to read some stuff, and I'm also writing my book.
Wonderful. All the best for that.
Thank you so much. So that is something that has really come out. All this while I was thinking I should just go away, spend 2 weeks or probably 3 weeks somewhere to write, but it never really happened, and it was on my mind for many years, probably 2 or 3 years. But this is the time it has taken shape. I just feel that this whole lockdown period, I hope we come out of it as winners. I hope this just goes away and everybody is safe and sound. But this entire period has been pretty enriching, so I don't look at it as a negative. I look at it as something that has empowered us with a lot more patience, some skills, some, insights. So it has been very enriching.
Ma'am, I have been in touch with a lot of image consultants, and I know that you've been doing a lot of other programs as well. And so, what I feel is that you are working on inner image as well as in the outer image part, whereas a lot of image consultants only focus on the outer image, which is communication, appearance, and all those things. Now we understand that the scenario today is changing. People are not going out, people are stuck at home, uh, and also with, even if the things get a bit normal, like recently I was just seeing a video by Ambika Pillai, and she actually showed how to do eye makeup, and she was actually wearing a mask, and she showed that because you would be walking out on the streets, or even if there are going to be training programs or you're working on in the office, a lot of your face is going to be covered. So she said eyes are going to be visible. So she really showed it well how to do the eye makeup. But I want to understand from you, is there going to be a shift when you're talking about image consultancy, when you're talking about image management for an individual? So are we going to focus more on the inner part now and less on the outer part, or how is it going to work out?
Very good question, Ankita. See, what happens is that the way you look impacts how you feel, and then it impacts how you perform. So all of these things are actually connected. And my journey of image consulting to becoming a life coach and executive coach and hypnotherapy coach, etc., happened because of this. You can't really create just the outer transformation. You have to bring the transformation from the inside out. Okay, so going forward, I think the trend would be slightly different, not very different, because even today when I'm sitting on a virtual platform with you, I have still taken time out to get ready, to look nice, and be presentable. Right? So it is important that going forward, even if you are working from the virtual platform, you have a video presence. Seeing is believing, right? So you have to make sure that you're looking nice, you are paying respect to the person that you're meeting, you're paying respect to the situation that is in front of you, and so you have to still groom well, and you have to dress well, and you have to feel good, you know. So all of this is important, and it will remain important. I said, we have these video calls, Zoom meetings, and all of that. People don't switch on their videos. How do we get them to switch on their videos? And you know why they are not switching on the videos? Because they are not in the best of their forms. Okay, so to know that you are working from home does not mean that you remain casual. Because if you dress casually, you will act casually, and then you will perform casually, and that's not going to happen. So I think looking good, not for the outside world, but for yourself, for the person who's in the mirror, it is important that you pay attention to how you're dressing, how you're grooming yourself, and all of that. Now, how important is going to be the inner journey? Very important, because your outer appearance has a direct connection with how you feel inside. It is going to be very important that you are more tolerant, you practice more allowance, more acceptance, more forgiveness, compassion. And these are things that, not that I wasn't practicing earlier, but I've come to realize during the lockdown period that, being compassionate, being kind is actually the most important thing. And opening your heart is very important. And I think this was a time that allowed people to open their hearts out. And people who were able to do that will come out as better individuals. There will be personal growth in that aspect. But people who weren't able to do it would still remain in the third dimension, as we talk in the spirituality world. So yeah, so I was also talking about the eye concept, the eye makeup that you talked about, that your mouth will be covered because that's how you smile, using your lips and mouth. But when your half the face is covered, how does anybody else see you smiling? You have to smile through the eyes, right? When you meet somebody and when you're greeting somebody, you have to smile through your eyes. And you can only do that part if your heart is open.
Very true.
A genuine smile people have to see in your eyes, and that will happen if you're really compassionate. Voice is going to be important. A lot of realization has happened around this, that the quality of voice, the tonality of voice, everything is going to play a big role. Because here, it's not very easy to read the expressions on the face, but it's definitely very easy to see what's coming out in the voice, right? So what you see is definitely important, and what you hear is also equally important. What you say and how you say it is going to be very, very important, as always.
Also, you in your first answer, when you were discussing about your personal and professional journey the last 2 to 3 months, you said that self-care has somewhere taken a seat back because women especially are really busy with the domestic chores and also with the children mostly staying at home. The kind of time initially they invested in self-care is now also, especially in India, I feel women spend relatively less time on self-care. And I think now it has taken a seat. So what would be your, suggestion to people, that how would you want to convince them that self-care is actually very important, and they will have to actually make an effort, conscious effort, to spend some time towards it?
I want to say that no matter how much you want to do for others, whether it's cooking or taking care of people, keeping the house in prim and proper position and all of that, it's important to wear your own oxygen mask. Okay, so how you will take time out, you will designate at least an hour per day and do things that make you happy. Okay, whether it is sleeping, or just taking a nap, or doing something that keeps you going, that makes you happy. It could be writing, reading, singing, mm, painting, you know, yoga, or meditation, just listening to something, watching a movie. I watch a movie every single day, by the way. At the end of the day, 9 o'clock is my movie time. And that's one thing I've done very regularly during this lockdown period, because that helps me unwind, that helps me to sort of calm down. So, whatever it takes to relax you, whatever it takes to make you happy, and takes the stress out of you, takes the frustration and the irritation out of you, you must do that. You must find that 1 hour. If you can do two, great. But if you don't have even 1 hour to yourself, then that's critical, because that will culminate into something later, which could be emotional pain, physical pain, and will affect your performance going forward, and your state of being. So I think it's really, really important that one needs to take time out.
And towards the end, I would want to use this opportunity, because I have you with me, to highlight 3 points on image management, which you feel at this point in the COVID times, in the lockdown situation, in the social distancing situation, one should definitely follow, whether it's ABC, the appearance, behavior, and communication part. So maybe one in each, or whatever most important points that you feel that one should definitely follow when it comes to image.
Sure, Ankita. I think we'll follow the same ABCD since that's what you're asking for. On the appearance part, I would say that no matter what, if you're sitting at home and you're locked down, you're not going to get out, get ready, and impress people, but do impress yourself, right? So get up every morning and get ready. I'm not saying wear a lot of makeup and wear fancy clothes, but look nice. Look nice, and if you look nice, you will feel good. And if you feel good, you are going to make other people around you feel good. So on the behavior aspect, I would say that practicing care and compassion, which I have spoken about, is a big piece. Open your heart out and have compassion, and show it in your action. Okay, that you care, and you're able to help people, whoever is in need, how much ever you can. So compassion is very important. Okay. On the communication bit, it is important to keep the empathy in mind. Be assertive. Say what you want to say, but make sure you bring in the element of behavior and the compassion, and know how you're speaking to the other person. Are you keeping the feeling of the other person in mind? So say what you want to say, but um, be kind. Okay, that's important in your communication. So clearly, you have to practice good tonality. More than 80% of the relationships in the world go sour because of the tone of the voice. So choose your words carefully and choose your tone carefully and be assertive. So that's on the communication. D has always been important, but it's more important now than ever, that what kind of presence you have on the digital platform, on the social media. So pay attention to how you present yourself, how you come online, how you have your profile, and messages that you put out in the digital platform.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing the insights, and it was a pleasure talking to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ankita. It was a pleasure. It was entirely my pleasure. Thanks for connecting, and thanks for having me on this platform and sharing what I feel about this whole COVID lockdown.